I bought the absolute cheapest launch monitor I could find off of Amazon to see if it's actually accurate or if it's just plain junk. Try that again. That's a total failure by this launch monitor. $245. No way. Now, right out of the box, the Swami launch monitor definitely does not feel premium. It is a budget option and it feels exactly like that. So know what you're getting if you're interested in this launch monitor. It's plastic construction, 4 AA batteries in the back, 3 metrics, carry, club head speed, and smash factor is all you get with this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and test it out right now. Simplicity is key. All you have to do to turn this thing on is press and hold the power button for 2 seconds. You're gonna hear an audible beep. That means it's on. It's set to the 7-iron stock. You've got simple buttons on the side, just 2 buttons, one for volume up and down. Super simple. We're gonna go ahead and put this down 6 feet behind where you are actually hitting the ball. We're gonna start with the 7-iron. That didn't even pick it up. It didn't even pick up the shot. And this is just a 7-iron. This isn't even a high lofted club. It's not picking up the shot at all. What is going on here? It's not picked. That is a total failure of this unit. I'm gonna try to move it a little bit closer. Nothing. I don't know what's going on with this. This is a total failure by this unit. I've repositioned the unit a little bit, see if that's actually gonna help it pick up, but it's not picking up any of my shots. Still nothing. This is crazy, guys. All right, so I've got it set up for a 4-iron now. We're gonna see if a lower lofted club makes it easier for this thing to read. Here we go. Nice little tight draw. 0 read. That is just insane. I'm gonna try to move it a little closer. I'm not getting any readings off of this. I'm gonna go and move it back a little bit, see if that actually helps. This is insane. We'll put it a little bit closer to see if that helps at all. Okay, finally got a reading there, and that says 208 yards. That's about 4 feet behind the ball. So the box says 5.5 to 6 feet, and I couldn't get any readings. It says 208 yards again, 103 on the club speed, 124 on the smash factor. 220 on that swing. It is closer to what my 4-iron goes, so that is actually pretty accurate. All right, that was a really well struck 4-iron. 245. No way. That that is ridiculous. That's terrible. No way that ball went 245. I don't hit him that good. That's like probably 20 yards off. I don't see this being very accurate in just the few shots that I've hit. I'm gonna switch to my driver now. These are range balls, so I do know that range balls don't go quite as far. All right, a big thing I really don't like about this is how much time it takes to cycle through this thing. These buttons are really stiff. If you guys have ever played an old Game Boy, it feels a lot like that. It picked up on it 273, 119 club speed. That is fairly accurate for my club head speed, maybe a little bit high. This is using Radar to give me those numbers. It picked up on that. That was a pretty good rip. It says 300 carry and 124 mile per hour club head speed. In this weather, with the gear that I have on, that's not happening. That is way too high to be classified as accurate. It is picking the shots up, 301, 121 ball speed. It's not accurate. One of the ultimate tests, we already know this thing's terrible on long irons, which is surprising me because budget rangefinders are typically better on your longer clubs, closer to accurate than they are on your wedges. So I'm curious to see if this thing can even pick up a pitching wedge. Man, cycling through this thing is just the biggest pain in the butt. It is so slow. It is simple. If you like budget rangefinders, the one thing I will say is it is nice and simple. We'll see how well this picks up the pitching wedge. My pitching wedge normally about 145. It did pick it up and it said 163. No way. No way 163 with a pitching wedge. 94 mile per hour club head speed. Really? 146 yards closer, 101 mile per hour on a pitching wedge with a 0.95 smash factor. I don't think so. It's just not accurate. The reviews I read said it was pretty good on your long irons, but it's way off. That one went pretty high. It is picking them up, so 148, 83 mile per hour club head speed with 1.15 smash factor. Okay, that's closer. This budget launch monitor does not inspire confidence at all. All right, third shot there, and that one's going pretty high. 142, 83 mile per hour, 1.14 smash factor. That's much closer to what I want to see with a pitching wedge. So it is getting a little more accurate in terms of the higher lofted clubs, which is really confusing because typically cheaper budget launch monitors struggle with high lofted clubs. We're gonna go ahead and try a nice small shot here with a sand wedge. Biggest and best test you can do for a launch monitor, especially budget, is those little shots, those 25, 50-yard shots. It did pick up and it said 62 yards. I might believe that. Here we go, let's try 75. It's picking up the higher lofted shots. That says 82. That was more like a 75-yard shot. That's a little off. Let's try a 50-yard shot. 36. Now you're starting to see bigger discrepancies, even more so than the long distance clubs. There's a little 25-yard shot, 41 yards, way off. So does this budget launch monitor fit any golfer out there? And I would have to say absolutely not. You guys need accurate numbers, at least somewhat accurate numbers, to be able to play golf better. You need to know your distances, and this will not help you with that. It just doesn't have the accuracy that you need. There were some readings that were pretty close, often off with maybe 4 or 5 yards, but then the other readings were way off, and you would never know that. I've actually been on TrackMan and got my distances down to a reliable range. This one was close on a couple shots, but I hit well over 20 shots with this thing, and it just is way off. You can't trust the data. Guys, want to see more golf gear reviews? Check this playlist out right here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.